Hey guys, how you doing? This is Manga, etc. I'm here today to bring the review for One Piece Manga Chapter 1100. That sounds really weird to say, but yeah, 1100, and the flashback is still going on. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't really have much to say about this chapter. The flashback is still going on. We see it playing out. Like I've been saying, I don't have much to say about it because it's really just, for me anyway, it's like, okay, we are basically getting the answers to questions we may have had previously. So obviously we know that Kuma has essentially become a fully robotic, and like, even if you're a big Kuma fan, like throughout the years you may have wondered, okay, cool, why did Kuma exactly agree to be turned into like a fully blown government dog, if you will. And we get the answers within this chapter. It was for his daughter. Now granted, it's not the daughter that, he put in the work for, to phrase it nicely, but daughter nonetheless. And the reason why I don't really get the feels or have much of an opinion of this chapter, or rather, yeah, of this chapter rather, is because it's what you're supposed to do. In my eyes, it's what you're supposed to do. At the end of the day, any good father will go above and beyond, plus ultra, whichever way you want to phrase it, for their child. So therefore, for me to find out, alright, cool, Kuma did this all for his child, makes sense in my eyes, and I'm not surprised. I'm not happy about it. I'm not sad about it. I generally have no opinion on it because it's the way I see the world. Anime or realistic world, parents should do all they can for their child. So we get that. What was kind of funny though, well, not funny, haha, but kind of amusing, was seeing the reaction to Kuma becoming a warlord throughout the eyes of the other people in the world. Because this chapter made me feel like that, at least for him, for when he became a warlord, it was a bigger deal maybe for when all the others became a warlord. And it was even funny to see what's her name, Alvida's reaction to it. Again, it just made me assume that him becoming a warlord was such a big of a deal for when others became warlords, and that's why we got the reaction to it, her reaction to it. Another thing I want to say about this chapter is pretty much more about the ending of the chapter. And now we know that at the end of this chapter, Kuma is in East Blue, and there is a panel of Luffy at the end of it. So that's made me come to the conclusion that, is it possible that Kuma and Luffy have met previously? Obviously, in our eyes, their first reaction with each other was thriller bark. I'm starting to think it wasn't. I'm starting to think, like, because I don't believe the flashback is done yet, we are going to see in the next chapter, or maybe the chapter after, possible interaction between the two. Now, it could be a thing where they come face to face, they see eye to eye, and because I'm assuming Luffy is still young at this point in the flashback, he just doesn't remember Kuma. Or it could be a thing where they don't meet, they don't see eye to eye, so therefore they could have had the reaction between each other, but Luffy doesn't remember him for that reason. They could have just spoke, for example, or he could have just seen him hooded up, or seen the back of him, or whatever. So they don't really necessarily speak to each other, and that's why Luffy doesn't remember him in present day. That's what I kind of think would lead in. It makes sense because he's in East Blue and he showed Luffy. It makes sense. So that's what I'm going for right now. But other than that, I don't really have much to say on this chapter. It's just one flashback, and we see things unfold. For example, another thing we see unfold for this chapter is the reason why Vegapunk wanted to create the what's he called them? Is it the satellites? Yeah, I think. But I'm talking about his other clones as well. I guess if you want to throw it in there as well, we get to see more of the kind of man that Vegapunk is as well, because when Saturn was negotiating with Kuma about becoming a cyborg in order for that, well, not cyborg, a robot rather, and in exchange for that we'll save your daughter, he was there in the background saying, no, this is not humane, you're basically just asking me to kill him, that kind of thing as well. So that is fun in there as well. You get a feel for his character as well, the kind of man he is. But yeah, other than that, I think I'm done. I think I'm done for this chapter. So I'm going to give this chapter a 3-star rating. And of course, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please go to my YouTube channel. But most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.